Hello my dirty little dumplings and welcome back to Brian Abroad. In today's video, I am here in Boulder City, Nevada at Tom Devlin's Monster Museum. Even before you get inside, they have all kinds of classic horror cars in the driveway here. So they have the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. They have the Mystery Machine over here. I just got super sidetracked because I was walking around in the parking lot looking at cars, and there's like a little old haunted house over here. This is probably like how I get murdered because I'm by myself on the highway, like, oh, what's this? And then no one ever sees me again. But this is so cool and so old school feeling. I'm guessing it's not open either just today or period, but it's called Blackwell Manor. I love this. There's also a coffin on wheels over here. All right, heading back in the direction of the museum now. This is what it's like when you have attention deficit disorder. So right out front next to the sign, they also have Christine, which is my sister's name, so that always tickles me. They have a Jurassic Park car. Obviously, I haven't even been inside yet, but I already love everything about this. They said it's totally fine to film in here, but no flash, and it's quite dark. So some of this you might not really be able to see, but as soon as you walk in, you are greeted by the Phantom of the Opera. And right over here, we have Nosferatu in his tomb, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And right before you walk in, we have the rules. So this whole section when you first walk in is dedicated to the work of Lon Chaney and the work that he did with the classic Universal Studios monster movies. We have the Wolfman over here. We have Frankenstein over here to the right. Over here we have Boris Karloff as the Mummy. And there's a plaque up here dedicated to Jack Pierce, who did the makeup for many of the old Universal Studios monster movies. Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman, he's done it all. I love the monsters so much. This is like a total comfort watch for me. I'm not like 1000% sure about the face on this one though. Like, it's definitely cool, but not 100% accurate. We have some signed decorations here from Butch Patrick, who played Eddie. And there's a really cool sculpt of the creature from the Black Lagoon over here, keeping Herman and Eddie company. Look at his hands, they're so cool. You guys, this next room looks so sick and so creepy because I'm the only one in this whole area right now. Maybe I'm about to get murdered right now. I'm a huge fan of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise, so I feel I need to go here first. This room is so awesome. It's like all the movies I was raised on as a kid who was born in the late 80s. We have Michael Myers here. Ghostface is over here to the right. Next to him, we have Ash from The Evil Dead. Freddy Krueger's right over there with a little plaque for Wes Craven. We got Grandpa from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre here. And of course, Leatherface. Gotta get a shot with them both together. The whole family. My friend Bruce is an avid collector of Texas Chainsaw memorabilia. He was friends with Gunnar Hansen, who played the original Leatherface. He is probably going to the 50th anniversary screening today dressed like this. I have seen many of the same signed photos on the wall of his house from the different casting crew of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So look how terrifying that is. Nightmares. The lighting here is not super great for taking photos with the monsters in my opinion, but look at that. He is terrifying. I had to check the eyeballs to make sure that it wasn't a guy in a costume. So one thing that's cool about seeing Leatherface here today is that August 18th is actually when the events of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre took place. And also, later today, I'm gonna be at Universal's Horror Unleashed, and I'll be walking through the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. They have a ghost face mask in a frame back there, and I'm wondering if that's like a screen-used prop or something to do more directly with the actual production of one of the films. There's no plaque that says what it is, but I have to assume it's there for a reason. They do also have a bunch of autographs from different people who have appeared in the Scream movies, but there's one in particular that cut a little bit deep, pardon the pun. To Tom, I'll smile when I catch the killer. Dewey. Pour one out for Dewey. Any Wishmaster fans out there? This movie was on TV all the time as a kid, and I was obsessed with the actor's voice in that movie. Everything was like, Alexander. And I used to like impersonate it as a joke for my friend. But there's a prop here from Wishmaster. That's cool. His design is honestly pretty sick. I feel like they could have done more with this and made it better. Kind of bummed that they didn't. I love how juicy Freddy looks over here in the corner, hanging out by the Elm Street sign. This costume was one of our go-to costumes in our house for Halloween. It was like something that my brother wore, and then like I wore it a couple times, and then for other things we'd break it out. We had the hat, we had the mask, the sweater, the glove. We had the whole thing. So I was definitely running around at like 8 years old as Freddy Krueger. I know that this isn't a haunt, it's a museum, but this hallway is very daunting when you're by yourself. Let's see. So I've never seen this movie, but we have Leslie Vernon from Behind the Mask here, lurking in the shadows like a total creeper. We have someone from The Strangers here as well, but it is very dark over here. This looks absolutely fabulous. The lighting, amazing. So this is the Tarman zombie from Return of the Living Dead. This room looks sick as well. There's so many different versions of Jason Voorhees in here. You can see Jason X looming in the shadows over there. We have Jason unmasked. We have Jason from the earlier films, and then we have sort of like my favorite version of Jason over there, this kind of waterlogged, decaying zombie, Kane Hodder Jason. And we have some Cenobites as well. Get a little Gremlins interlude here. All right, now we're back to our regularly scheduled Jason programming. They also have all kinds of autographed Jason masks here from the different actors who have played Jason Voorhees. So some of the stuff that's here is sort of like from productions, things that Tom Devlin made, and then other things are recreations. So for example, they have the Jason prosthetics from Friday the 13th Part 7, and it was created using the molds from the makeup artist who worked on the film. Also, I'm gonna circle back through this room for a minute because I just want to say that the layout of this room is so brilliant because you have no choice but to walk through this whole maze of different Jason Voorhees, and it just feels so intimidating. Here there's a great little diorama with the Cenobites and Pinhead from the Hellraiser franchise. So I come from like a Halloween family, and every year we went to all the local haunted houses. We went to Salem every year. The Salem haunted houses used to be lit when I was a kid, but there was this really awesome haunted house in Massachusetts called the Winthrop Dungeon. It was like underground in these old army bunkers, and some wild stuff used to happen there. And I will never forget that as a kid, they had this Pinhead scene where you stop and you watch them talk, and then they have the puzzle box, and they were looking for like someone from the audience to volunteer, and I was just a little kid, and the Cenobite person comes up to me and they're you, let's go. And I'm like, no, because I was a chicken as a kid. And so they picked someone else out of the audience, and to this point, as a grown adult, I still don't know if it was like someone who's planted in the scene or if it's like an actual guest that was like really, really brave. But the puzzle cube opens and all this light comes out. It's super like blinding in the room, and then when the light goes out, the Pinhead character and the person they took from the audience were completely gone. And I was like, well, thank God I didn't volunteer for that. But it was just amazing, especially as a kid. Maybe as an adult it looked really cheesy, but when I was a kid, it was amazing. All right, we're moving on to the next room. We have someone here from The Hills Have Eyes. And we have Michael Berryman here, who's known for the original film. Oh, I didn't even realize that I was standing in front of a Good Guys doll box. Who do we have up here? Nice. There's all kinds of Chucky memorabilia here, including 2 life-size dolls of Tiffany and Chucky. This is a cool photo op though. Unfortunately, I'm traveling alone today, but maybe I can get Michael Berryman to take my picture. So this room has a little bit of a hodgepodge of late 80s, early 90s horror characters in it. We have the Killer Clowns from Outer Space over here. Wow, that was super Bostonian. Killer Clowns from Outer Space over here. Definitely said Outer Space. I spent the week with my family, guys. I can't help it. We have the original Pennywise over here. That looks awesome. These movies are so weird, and they just got weirder and weirder. As a kid, the first one was on TV all the time, so I've probably seen it like 1,000 times, and still don't really remember any of it, but like, didn't they make another one where he's like in the hood? So weird. And right over here, we have the late, great Tony Todd as Candyman. Apparently, he was here, signing autographs at one point. That's pretty cool. Oh my God, is this the Ghoulies? Yeah, it is. I used to see this movie cover in like Blockbuster Video all the time. Yes, I'm old. And I've always wanted to see it because I was like, whoa, there's like this little dude who comes out of the toilet. I feel like this is just like a physical representation of my IBS. What I'm really loving about this place so far is that every room is like an adventure. You never really know where you're headed. You never know what you're gonna get next, but all of it's awesome. And they just have so much stuff, and I'm the only one here. I haven't seen another person other than the woman who sold me my ticket since I've been here. I haven't even heard a single voice, which is a little bit creepy and unsettling, especially in that Jason room. But if you wanna spend your time with things and take pictures and take videos, it's the best situation possible. There is also a whole case here of horror props from different movies, and most of them say screen used, which I'm guessing is why they're behind a row of glass. I am not familiar with most of the films that are mentioned here. Oh my God, I do know this because I'm pretty sure that Gary Busey was in this movie, the Ginger Dead Man. But a lot of other stuff, I don't really know what it's from. This is giving me like major Universal Studios vibes for some reason. I mean, I know it's not Jack, but it's giving me Jack vibes. They have a screen-used Puppet Master prop from one of the later films that Tom Devlin worked on. There's lots of different screen-used props here from that version of Puppet Master. This stuff all looks so sick. Look at that wolf, that's so awesome. Tom Devlin also worked on a trauma film called Poultrygeist, so a lot of props at the end here are all from Poultrygeist. Personally, I have never seen this movie, but I do remember also seeing this in video stores when I was a kid. I know that Five Nights at Freddy's fans would really appreciate this too, hiding right around the corner over here. This is more for me though. I love The Exorcist. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Unfortunately, Linda Blair was at the haunted house that I was working at one night signing autographs, but didn't get to meet her because I was in character scaring people inside the haunt. I'm also a big fan of Trick or Treat. I love a good horror anthology. Creepshow is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I just fell in love with the whole story and Sam right away. And we have Toxie over here in the corner. The new version's supposed to be coming out soon with Peter Dinklage. That should be interesting. You really never know what you're gonna find here because right around the corner, not only is Beetlejuice chilling over here, but then right around the corner we have T-1000? Okay, this Beetlejuice has definitely seen some things. I mean, I am about 30 minutes away from Vegas, so who knows? Speaking of Creepshow, they have the skeleton ticket taker from the front cover of the film. That is awesome. Look, he's holding a ticket for the Monster Museum. If you have never seen this movie, please do yourself a favor. Go and watch it as soon as this video ends. They have a little screening room here as well where you can watch films, which is really cool. I believe they do it on the weekends here. And I also think that that's Elvira's couch. Oh my God, I was obsessed with Lord Zed as a kid. I would have worn this every day, to school, everywhere. This one's even signed by Jason David Frank. And he has a signed one from the Blue Ranger as well. This is cool. They have an arcade room in here. They have House of the Dead 2, Dracula, Tales from the Crypt, pinball machines. Oh my God, Mortal Kombat 2. Man, this was my jam when arcades were a thing. And it's like impossible, but I still loved it. Man, that was really awesome. I was a little bit worried because it is about a 30-minute drive from the Strip and where most people are hanging out in Vegas. I think my driver almost had a heart attack when he matched with me, and then I got in the car and it was like, yeah, take him to Boulder City. He was like, what? And I was a little bit afraid that I might get all the way out here and maybe it's not that good or it doesn't quite live up to my expectations, but I had a really good time in there, especially because I was the only customer in there. When you leave at the end, you're in the gift store that you start in when you first enter, and the woman who works there was telling me it's been a super slow day, which I mean, of course is unfortunate for them as a business, but for me as a visitor, going on a Monday early in the day seemed to be ideal. I could take my time, I could look at everything, take pictures, take videos, just kind of soak in the creepy ambience. They had all the horror soundtracks playing. The Jason room, amazing. And I was also talking to some of the staff at the end who said that they do have celebrities who come and sign from time to time. They just had someone from The Walking Dead come like a week ago. And I also noticed that when I was walking around, there were some areas that seemed very much so like they were set up for the purpose of being a haunt. Like I saw what I think looked like a drop-down box where an actor would hide behind and then something falls down and you pop up like it's supposed to look like a painting. And so I asked them, have you ever done a haunt in there before? And they were like, yeah, we used to do it in Octobers. We used used to replace some of the props with real people, so you didn't know which was which, and we'd turn the lights off and fog it up. But they said that that kind of takes its toll on the props. People run into things, people don't know what's real and what's not, and they touch things and damage them. So they stopped doing that, but they are building 2 haunts for October. One of them is that manor that I saw outside that I thought was something that was kind of like old and defunct. It's actually a new haunt that's not even open yet, and they're also building a circus somewhere. So that's super cool. If it's anything like the inside there, I think it's gonna be really, really fun. The gift store was really awesome too. They had everything. They had magnets and shirts and different things to support the museum. They had DVDs. There was signed memorabilia from different films and TV shows all over the place that the different actors had signed. They had coffee from Deadly Grounds. They had all kinds of stuff. They had a whole wall of masks. And the gift store and the museum itself, they smelled amazing. It smelled like Halloween. It smelled like walking into the costume store as a kid in the 90s, and you can smell like all the latex and all the like synthetic material and fabrics from the costumes. And that might not be it for everybody, but that is totally it for me. Like, I want a candle that smells like that. That's Halloween to me. Also, this area is just super cool. I don't know anything about it, but I see some like old style trains over there. And then the mountains over here are just incredible. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my trip to Tom Devlin's Monster Museum for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you like this video and you wanna see more of my travels and adventures around the world, please remember to click that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so that you know when I upload a new video here on my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.